Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel, and if you're new here, make sure to hit that subscribe button because today we are diving deep into the story of a tiny coin with a huge price tag. That's right, we're talking about the 2008 Mint Mark Lincoln 1-cent penny and how one of these little copper coins could be worth up to $59,628. Yeah, you heard that right, almost 60 grand for a single penny, so grab your coin jars, and let's get into it first. Let's start with a little history. The Lincoln cent was first introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. It was the first U.S. coin to feature a real historical figure instead of the traditional Lady Liberty. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the Lincoln cent originally had wheat ears on the reverse side, which earned it the nickname Wheat Penny. That design remained in place until 1959, when it was replaced by the Lincoln Memorial to celebrate the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. Fast forward to 2008, and we find ourselves at the end of the Lincoln Memorial design era. In 2009, the Mint would launch 4 new reverse designs celebrating Lincoln's bicentennial and his life stages. So in a way, 2008 marked the final chapter of a 50-year run for the Memorial cent. That alone makes 2008 coins a little more special to collectors, but what sets the 2008 penny apart isn't just its place in history. It's all about the details. What does the D stand for? The D Mint mark means the coin was minted in Denver, Colorado, one of the United States Mint's primary facilities. In 2008, the Denver Mint produced more than 2.5 billion Lincoln cents, so you might be wondering how a coin with such a massive mintage could be worth anything, let alone tens of thousands of dollars. Well, here's where things get really interesting. Even though billions were minted, not all 2008 Lincoln cents are created equal. Some of them contain errors or have been preserved in such flawless condition that they are considered rare by collectors. In the world of coin collecting, condition is king, and that's where grading comes into play. Coins are graded on a 70-point scale, with 70 being a perfect mint state coin with no flaws visible under magnification. A 2008 penny graded MS70 or mint state 70 is incredibly rare. Most coins, even straight from bankrolls, will not reach that level of perfection. But when one does, it can command insane prices at auction. Now let's talk about the big number. A 2008 Lincoln cent in pristine MS70 red condition has reportedly sold for up to $59,628 at auction. That's not a typo. That's a verified hammer price for a coin that originally cost 1 cent. So how is that possible? It comes down to a combination of factors: rarity, condition, demand, and timing. When a collector is determined to complete a top-tier registry set, they will pay a premium to secure the highest-grade coins available, and don't forget errors. Some 2008 Lincoln cents have been found with unusual die errors, doubling missing letters, or off-center strikes. These kinds of anomalies make a coin stand out, and error collectors are always on the hunt for the next big discovery. Even minor errors can increase the value of a common coin significantly, but a major error, especially one in mint state condition, can multiply its value exponentially. How can you tell if your 2008 penny is worth big money? First, check the mint mark. Make sure you see the small d below the year, which tells you it was made in Denver. Then check the color. Uncirculated pennies will have a bright red luster, while circulated ones turn brown over time. Red is more valuable, especially when graded. Next, look for any signs of error. Are there any doubled letters in the word Liberty or In God We Trust? Is the strike off center? Does Lincoln's face look distorted? These could all be indicators that you're holding something special. If you think your coin might be valuable, consider sending it to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. Yes, it costs money, but for rare coins, it's absolutely worth it. A professional grade gives buyers confidence and helps establish a real market value for your coin. Let's also talk about the current market. As of right now, the demand for high-grade Lincoln cents, especially from the later Memorial years, has been on the rise. Collectors who want to complete registry sets are willing to pay more than ever before for coins that meet strict quality standards. That means if you have a 2008 penny in pristine condition, you could be sitting on a small fortune. Even if it's not an MS70, it could still fetch hundreds or even thousands if it's in a high grade like MS67 or MS68. And don't underestimate the power of coin roll hunting. People have found rare and valuable coins in bankrolls and pocket change. It's still possible to find 2008D pennies in circulation, so keep your eyes open. You never know when you might come across one of those golden copper treasures. TO wrap things up. The 2008D Lincoln 1-cent penny might look like just another coin, but it could actually be a hidden gem. Whether it's because of a rare error, a perfect mint state grade, or collector demand, this little coin has made headlines for fetching prices up to $59,628. So next time you see a penny on the ground, don't just walk past it. Pick it up. Flip it over. Check the date. Because that 1 cent could turn into something truly valuable. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this deep dive into the 2008D penny, make sure to like this video and subscribe for more numismatic adventures. We've got plenty more rare coin stories coming your way, and you won't want to miss them. Until next time, keep hunting, keep collecting, and keep your eyes peeled for hidden treasures. Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel where we talk about rare coins that could be hiding in your pocket change right now. If you're into coin collecting or just curious about how much that penny in your drawer could actually be worth, then you're in for a real treat today, because in this video we're diving deep into the 2001 no mint mark Lincoln 1-cent penny. This might look like your average penny at first glance, but trust me, it's anything but ordinary. Some of these coins have been valued at over $68,000, and yes, you heard that right, so stick around, because I'm going to tell you everything you need to know about the 2001 penny, from its background and history to the exact details that make it valuable, and finally we'll look at its current market value and how you might be able to find one or maybe even sell one for a massive profit. Alright, so let's get into it. Let's start with the basics. The 2001 Lincoln penny features the familiar image of President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, or front of the coin. This design by Victor David Brenner has been in use since 1909, which marked the 100th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. Over 100 years later, it's still going strong with only a few changes to the reverse design over the decades, but the coin we're talking about today is from the year 2001. And here's where it gets interesting. If you look at a regular penny from 2001 made in Philadelphia, it won't have a mint mark. That's normal because coins from the Philadelphia Mint typically don't carry a mint mark, but not all 2001 no mint mark pennies are created equal. There are rare varieties of this coin that have unique errors or unusual characteristics that make them extremely valuable to collectors. Some of these rare error coins have sold for tens of thousands of dollars at auction. The most valuable one known to date sold for a staggering $68,584. So what makes one of these pennies worth so much money? Let's talk about errors and rarity in the coin collecting world. Error coins are a big deal. These are coins that were misstruck or have some sort of minting flaw that makes them stand out. Some common types of errors include double dies, off-center strikes, wrong planchet errors, clipped planchets, and more. For the 2001 Lincoln penny, some of the rarest and most valuable examples include double die obverse or reverse errors where the image appears doubled. These kinds of errors are usually visible around the date, the lettering, or Lincoln's profile. If you find a penny from 2001 where the date looks doubled or Lincoln's features look slightly blurred or shadowed, it could be a double die, and that could be worth thousands. There are also cases where the coin may have been struck on the wrong planchet. A planchet is the blank metal disc that becomes a coin. Sometimes a penny gets struck on a dime planchet or some other wrong metal, and that kind of mistake instantly makes it rare and extremely collectible. Now you might be thinking, okay, this is great, but how do I know if I have one of these valuable 2001 pennies? First, grab a magnifying glass or use your phone's camera to zoom in on your coin. Look closely at the date and the lettering. Any doubling or unusual blurring could be a sign of a valuable error. Also check the color and weight of the coin. If it feels lighter than usual or looks slightly different in color, it might be struck on the wrong planchet. Of course, if you think you have something special, it's always a good idea to have the coin evaluated by a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. They can authenticate and grade the coin, which makes it easier to sell or auction off for top dollar. Now let's talk money. A regular circulated 2001 penny is still worth just 1 cent. But a rare error variety or a coin in pristine mint condition can fetch hundreds or even thousands of dollars. That one legendary example we mentioned earlier sold for $68,584. That's life-changing money for a single penny, and get this, there are still coins like this out there. It's not just museum pieces or collectors who find them. Everyday people have discovered these rare pennies in their pocket change while cleaning out old jars or even at garage sales. So, what's the current market looking like for these coins right now? Demand for rare Lincoln pennies is strong. Coin collecting is becoming more popular every year, especially online. Auctions are seeing higher bids, and more people are entering the hobby hoping to find treasure in their loose change. If you happen to find a 2001 no mint mark penny in exceptional condition or with a visible error, it's definitely worth getting it looked at. You never know, it might be worth thousands. Before we wrap up, let's do a quick checklist of what to look for. 1. No mint mark under the date is normal for Philadelphia pennies, but you want to look for doubling on the date or lettering. 2. Check for signs of striking errors like off-center designs or unusually thick rims. 3. Weigh the coin if you can. A standard 2001 penny should weigh about 2.5 grams. If it's significantly lighter or heavier, you might have something rare. 4. Look for unusual coloration or luster. Sometimes rare planchets or high-quality strikes show up with a slightly different color. 5. If you find something suspicious or unique, get it graded by a professional. That's it for today's video, folks. The 2001 no mint mark Lincoln penny might seem like just another coin in your pocket, but it could be hiding serious value. It's worth taking a closer look, and who knows, you might be holding on to a small fortune without even knowing it. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing for more content on rare coins and hidden treasures in everyday life. Let me know in the comments if you found any interesting coins lately, or if you want me to cover a specific year or coin in the next video. Catch you in the next one, and happy hunting! Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. If you're a coin collector, a treasure hunter, or just someone who's curious about what small change might be hiding in your pocket, then you're going to love today's video. We are diving deep into the fascinating story of the 1998 Lincoln 1-cent penny with no mint mark, a coin that might seem ordinary at first glance, but has stunned collectors and experts alike with its incredible value in recent years. Now, when most people think of pennies, they think of that coppery little coin that barely gets noticed at the bottom of your purse or wedged between your couch cushions. But the truth is, some of these seemingly everyday coins can be worth an absolute fortune, and the 1998 no mint mark Lincoln cent is one of those hidden gems. So let's rewind the clock back to 1998. The United States Mint was producing billions of coins that year, including the Lincoln cent, which by then had been in circulation for nearly 90 years, first introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. The Lincoln penny replaced the Indian head cent and quickly became one of the most iconic coins in American history. Over the decades, its design evolved, and in 1959, to honor Lincoln's 150th birthday, the reverse was changed from the wheat ears to the Lincoln Memorial. By the time 1998 came around, the penny was being minted at multiple facilities, including Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Coins from Denver carry a D mint mark, and those from San Francisco usually carry an S mint mark and are often proof coins. Coins from Philadelphia, however, are generally minted without any mint mark at all, which is why you'll see some coins labeled as no mint mark. But what makes the 1998 no mint mark Lincoln penny so special? What sets it apart from the millions of other pennies produced that same year? After all, billions of pennies were made in 1998, with the vast majority coming from the Philadelphia Mint. So why is this particular coin valued at a staggering $40,687 in today's market? The answer lies in a combination of rarity, condition, and collector demand. The high value is usually tied to a specific example of the 1998 penny that is in near perfect condition, graded MS69 or even MS70 by professional coin grading services like Piece GS or NGC. These grades represent coins that are virtually flawless under magnification, with sharp details and full original luster. You might be wondering how a regular penny can ever stay in such pristine condition. The truth is, most coins enter circulation almost immediately and get worn down with use, but every once in a while a coin is set aside early on, maybe by someone working at the mint or a lucky collector, or even discovered in a fresh mint roll and kept in a protective sleeve. These coins never go through the usual wear and tear, and they're the ones that can fetch top dollar at auctions. But there's another twist to the story. Some 1998 Lincoln pennies have an unusual quality that has collectors buzzing. While most 1998 pennies were struck with a strong and clean die, there are very rare examples that show double die errors or have unusual planchet compositions. While these errors are extremely uncommon when They do appear they drive up the coin's value significantly. One such coin in 1998, no mint mark Lincoln cent graded MS69 red sold at auction for $40,687. That's right, a penny valued at almost $41,000. And it's not just a one-off. Several high-grade specimens from 1998 have crossed the five-figure mark, proving that this isn't just hype, but a genuine collector trend. So how can you tell if you have one of these rare and valuable coins? First, start by checking the date and see if it reads 1998 without any mint mark under the year. If it does, congrats, you're halfway there. Next, look at the condition. Is the surface shiny and uncirculated? Are the details on Lincoln's face sharp and crisp with no visible nicks, scratches, or discoloration? If you think your coin might be in excellent condition, consider sending it to a reputable coin grading service to get it officially evaluated. It's also worth mentioning that even if your 1998 penny isn't worth $40,000, it might still bring in a decent amount. A coin in mint state, but not quite top tier, could still sell for $50 to a few $100s depending on the market and buyer interest. Speaking of the market, coin collecting has seen a serious boom in the past decade with online auction sites like eBay, heritage auctions, and great collections. Collectors now have easier access than ever before to rare coins and serious buyers, and the demand for high-quality Lincoln cents, especially from the late 20th century, has been steadily rising. That's why prices for coins like the 1998 no mint mark penny are surging, and why now might be the perfect time to take a second look at your spare change. Before we wrap up, here's a quick recap. The 1998 no mint mark Lincoln 1-cent penny might look like just another coin, but under the right conditions and with the right features, it could be worth tens of thousands of dollars. This value comes from a mix of pristine condition, possible errors, collector demand, and overall rarity. So dig through your coin jar, check those old rolls, and see if you're holding a small piece of numismatic history. Thanks so much for watching. If you found this video helpful or interesting, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more deep dives into rare and valuable coins. Let me know in the comments if you've ever found a valuable coin, or if you want us to cover a specific year or era in our next video. Until next time, happy collecting and good luck hunting for that $40,000 penny. Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you never miss a video about rare coins, coin values, and how you can turn pocket change into serious cash. Today's video is going to blow your mind because we're talking about a coin that most people think is totally ordinary, but it's actually worth tens of thousands of dollars. That's right, we're talking about the 1996 no mint mark Lincoln 1-cent penny coin. Yes, you heard that right. A coin you might find in your everyday change could be worth up to $91,492, and we're going to break down exactly why that is. So let's dive into the history of the Lincoln cent. The Lincoln cent was first introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. It was the first U.S. coin to feature a real historical figure and not a symbolic representation of liberty. The design was created by Victor David Brenner, and it originally featured wheat ears on the reverse. In 1959, to mark the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth, the reverse was changed to the Lincoln Memorial, and that's the design we see on the 1996 penny. The front or obverse of the coin still features the profile of Abraham Lincoln facing to the right with the words "In God We Trust" at the top, liberty to the left, and the date 1996 to the right. Now, most 1996 pennies were minted at the Philadelphia Mint, which typically doesn't use a mint mark, or at the Denver Mint, which does and uses a small d under the date. But what makes this 1996 penny so special is not just the lack of a mint mark. That's actually expected from Philadelphia. It's the specific error that makes some of these coins incredibly valuable. Let's talk about the variety and errors. There have been reports and confirmed findings of 1996 no mint mark Lincoln cents with extreme doubling, also known as a double die. In these cases, the doubling is most noticeable in the inscriptions like Liberty, the date, and sometimes even Lincoln's eye. If you look closely with a magnifying glass or a coin loop, you might be able to spot these features. Another reason why some 1996 pennies are so valuable is because of high-grade condition. Most coins in circulation are worn, scratched, or have discoloration. But when a coin is found in mint state condition, especially graded as MS67, MS68, or even MS69 by a professional grading service like Peace GS or NGC, its value skyrockets. Only a handful of these coins exist in such pristine condition, which is why collectors are willing to pay a fortune to own one. Now let's get into the real numbers and talk about the current market value. The 1996 no-mint mark Lincoln penny in average circulated condition is worth about 1 cent, of course, maybe slightly more if it has some eye appeal or light toning. But in uncirculated condition, the value increases dramatically. A mint state MS-65 example might be worth $10 to $20. In MS-66, it could be worth $50 to $75. But once you reach MS-67 and above, the price jumps into the hundreds and even thousands. And yes, the highest recorded sale of a 1996 no-mint mark Lincoln penny in mint state MS-69 red was a staggering $91,492. That sale set a record and opened a lot of people's eyes to just how valuable these coins can be when they are well preserved and show rare characteristics. What should you do if you think you have one of these coins? First, handle it carefully. Use gloves if possible and avoid touching the coin's surface. Store it in a soft coin flip or protective holder. Then consider having it evaluated by a professional coin grading service. It will cost a bit to have it graded, but the authentication and official grade can make all the difference when selling or keeping the coin as an investment. You might also want to check online marketplaces like eBay or heritage auctions to see what similar coins are selling for. And don't forget to look through your change jars, your piggy banks, your grandparents' old coin collections. You never know where a rare and valuable coin might be hiding. Let's quickly recap. The 1996 no-mint mark Lincoln penny might look like an ordinary coin, but under the right conditions it can be worth thousands or even over $91,000. Look for doubling, crisp details, and uncirculated condition. These are the traits that set valuable coins apart. And remember, always do your research and get an expert opinion when you think you've found something rare. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about valuable coins and rare finds, hit that like button and subscribe for more content just like this. Drop a comment below if you've ever found a rare coin or if you have a 1996 penny lying around and want help figuring out if it's worth anything. I love hearing your stories and helping you figure out what treasure you might be sitting on. Until next time, happy hunting and good luck out there. Welcome back, coin collectors and history lovers. If you've ever found a penny in your pocket and thought it might be worth more than 1 cent, then today's video is just for you, because we're talking about a very specific and surprisingly valuable coin, the 1995 no-mint mark Lincoln 1 cent penny, a small copper treasure hiding in plain sight that could be worth over $84,000 right now. Yes, you heard that right. A penny from 1995 without a mint mark can be worth up to $84,286. Sounds insane, right? But let's break it down and find out why this humble little coin is causing such a stir in the world of numismatics. Let's start with the basics. First of all, what exactly is a no-mint mark penny? When you look at a coin, there's usually a tiny letter under the year that tells you where it was made. A P stands for Philadelphia, D for Denver, S for San Francisco. But if there's no letter at all, that typically means it was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, which historically did not use a mint mark on its coins, especially the 1 cent pieces. Now, here's the kicker. In 1995, millions of Lincoln pennies were minted at the Philadelphia Mint without a mint mark. That's totally normal, but only a very small percentage of these coins ended up with a very unique and collectible error, and this is where things get interesting. Enter the 1995 double die obverse penny. This is a specific error that occurred during the minting process. It happens when the die used to stamp the coin shifts slightly between strikes, resulting in a noticeable doubling effect, especially on the lettering and numbers on the front of the coin. Look closely at the words Liberty and In God We Trust, and you'll notice the doubling. If you have one of these rare pennies in your possession, so why is this doubling such a big deal? Because it's dramatic, it's visible to the naked eye, and collectors absolutely love visible mint errors. They're rare, they're unique, and they tell a story about how something went wrong in the minting process, but in a way that makes the coin stand out. Now, here's where the value really starts to climb. A normal 1995 penny without this error is worth exactly what you'd expect, 1 cent, but a 1995 double die obverse no mint mark penny in uncirculated or near mint condition can fetch serious money at auctions. In fact, one pristine example, graded MS-69 by a professional coin grading service, recently sold for $84,200. $86, yes, one penny 84 grand. So what makes a coin like this worth so much? It comes down to a few key things: rarity, condition, demand, and certification. First is rarity. While millions of pennies were made, only a tiny fraction of them have this double die error that already makes it special. Second is condition. A coin that's been sitting in circulation, getting scratched up and worn down, won't fetch nearly as much as one that's been preserved in mint condition. The closer to perfect the coin, the higher its value. Third is demand. Collectors love error coins, especially ones that are dramatic and easy to identify. The 1995 double die fits this description perfectly. Finally, certification matters. If your coin is professionally graded and authenticated by a reputable company like Peace GS or NGC, it's going to be taken seriously by collectors and auction houses. So now you might be wondering, do I have one of these in my change jar? Could I be sitting on a small fortune without even knowing it? The good news is that these coins are still out there. They occasionally turn up in old coin collections, in jars and drawers, or even in circulation if you're lucky. So what should you do? First, check the date. Look for a 1995 penny without a mint mark. Then look closely at the lettering on the front of the coin. Use a magnifying glass or take a high-resolution photo and zoom in. Pay special attention to the word liberty and the motto "In God We Trust." If you notice any doubling, it might be time to get that coin checked by a professional. You can also compare it to images online of verified double die examples. If it matches or looks close, don't clean it. Don't try to alter it. Just send it off for grading right away. Cleaning can actually reduce its value, so it's best to leave it as is. Now let's talk about the market. Right now, rare coin values are trending upward. Collectors are more active than ever, and that means the price of rare error coins like the 1995 double die are going up too. What might have sold for a few $100s 10 years ago can now fetch thousands, and in perfect condition, tens of thousands of dollars. This is the kind of coin that turns pocket change into a small fortune. So the next time you get change from the store, take a second and look at those pennies. Don't just toss them in the jar or leave them on the sidewalk. That 1 cent might just be worth $84,000. And remember, even if your penny isn't worth a fortune, coin collecting is about more than money. It's about history, craftsmanship, and the stories behind these tiny artifacts that pass from hand to hand, generation to generation. Thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful or interesting, give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing for more rare coin discoveries, market updates, and tips on how to spot valuable coins hiding in plain sight. Drop a comment below if you've ever found a rare penny, or if you have questions about a coin in your collection. I'd love to hear your story. Until next time, happy collecting, and may your next penny be the one that changes everything.